I'm editing the video as we speak, and that was so cringy, so I'm so sorry to make you have to sit through that, but I'll make it up to you. The rest of this video is going to be good. Enjoy. For some weird reason, that hurt my finger a lot, but yeah, welcome to the video. Haven't tasted this in a few months, so I'm going to enjoy this as my pre-workout. That thing gives me pure nostalgia. I'm just envisioning myself just skating down the road in the summer, because that's what I did when I drank this like a few years ago. But anyways, I want to keep this video pretty short with a ton of value and information, so yeah, not going to add any more fluff now. Let's get into it. So now we're going to go over everything I do regarding my program when it comes to building a big chest. We're going to be going over the exercises, the volume, the intensity, the periodization, all of the good stuff. So hopefully you can take something from this video, and if you're struggling with building your chest, this video is definitely going to help you out. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is exercise selection. Well, in each phase I cycle through exercises, but in every phase there is 3 different exercises for the chest. One is going to be a primary pressing movement, and the second one is going to be a secondary pressing movement, and the third one is going to be an isolation movement. The primary pressing movement is going to be the one that you do 2 times a week, and it's also going to be the one that you focus the most on progressing with the weights. And what's typically used in most programs when it comes to the primary pressing movement is barbell bench, but I'm using dumbbell bench, specifically low incline dumbbell press. And it's not that a barbell bench press is not great for building the pecs. It is a great movement, but I just prefer the dumbbells when it comes to only focusing on hypertrophy. I might make a separate video for that, but yeah, not gonna talk about it in this video. And what I've been choosing in this training phase for my secondary pressing movement is going to be a machine press. The main benefit with a machine chest press is that it's not fatiguing on your joints as much as, for example, dumbbells or barbells. So yeah, you can just do more total work and recover from it. And the last exercise I'm doing in this phase is pec deck. Just a great chest isolation. Prefer it a bit over flies just because it has more constant tension throughout the whole range of motion. So yeah, that's the one I'm going to be doing. And all of these 3 chest exercises are going to be staying consistent in my program for this current phase that I'm on, but they might be swapped out for other exercises when I'm done with this phase. And the second thing that we're going to be discussing for building a big chest is volume, intensity, and frequency. And they're all included in the same point just because they are dependent on each other. So if one goes up, another one has to go down. So science might not have the answer for everything just yet, but one thing that has definitely been proven in countable studies is that training muscle groups 2 times a week or more is definitely better than only training them once a week. If you train with a lot of volume, it's simply easier to manage that volume if you have it spread out throughout the week, so there will be more quality volume. And when it comes to volume, I'm currently doing 15 sets a week for the chest. That's also well within the scientific literature when it comes to how much volume you should do to grow. We know that when volume goes up, muscle growth typically goes up as well to a certain point, so it's good to have a good amount of volume, but not to the extent of you not being able to recover from it. And when it comes to the intensity on this program, we're measuring that by using the RIR scale, which means reps in reserves. If you're familiar with the RPE scale, it's basically the same thing, rate of perceived exertion. So if you have a 2 RIR, that means 2 reps in reserve. So when you're doing exercises that are typically in the high rep range and also is an isolation movement, which is not as fatiguing on your body as a whole at all, then you should be training very close to failure, and if not, even going to failure. But if you're doing heavy compound movements, you shouldn't be hitting failure, at least not all the time, because when you take a set to failure, you're going to accumulate a lot more fatigue than you're actually going to accumulate muscle growth. So you're not going to be recovering as well, you're not going to be able to do as much, so it's better to just do a lot more volume but just dial the intensity back a bit. So on the main chest exercise, the low incline dumbbell bench press, I'm going to be sticking mostly within the range of 1 rep in reserve to 2 reps in reserve, but the week before the deload I can then go to failure just because I have a week to recover, so that works out completely fine. Moving over to the next thing when it comes to getting a big chest is periodization. So on my program I'm using daily undulating periodization, which is just basically a fancy way of saying one day you use lower reps and another day you use high reps. So on day 1 I have a more strength focus where I'm doing lower reps, and on day 2 I'm doing higher reps. And I'm also using a form of linear periodization. So throughout each training phase, which lasts for about 6 weeks, I linearly increase my intensity, and then I also linearly decrease volume. Since I'm doing linear periodization, I'm able to increase the weight that I'm using on the dumbbells for every single week. So I'm linearly increasing my weights, and I do that until the training phase is done. I could talk a lot more about periodization because I definitely didn't cover it all right now, but I think it's something that's pretty boring to hear about because it's very like scientific terms and very just scientific. I think it's interesting, but I don't know if you find this stuff interesting, so let me know. I'll make a whole separate video for periodization if you want to know more about it. But the final thing we're going to be talking about, and maybe even the most important thing, and that is mindset. So you have to have a goal in order to get stronger or get bigger, or you don't have to, but it's going to make things easier. Not only easier in terms of you sticking to the program, doing the workouts, but also it's actually just going to push you more. You're going to be more excited about doing the workouts, and thus going to give you more energy, and that can actually make you push more weights because the mind is a strong ass muscle. But just make sure that you have a goal. Make sure that you either have a strength goal. That's what I would recommend because that's just very easy to spot compared to like visual goals. It's pretty hard to tell if your chest has grown half an inch or not. So yeah, it's just way easier to measure it by if your weights are increasing. And my specific goal when it comes to low incline dumbbell press is to low incline dumbbell press 40 kilos for 6 reps for multiple sets, and with a good form as well. Never done it before. Sounds pretty cool. Some people have said to me that I already have it, but probably I don't, and I'm not gonna risk it because I've been a dumbass in the past. I train smart now for a reason. I didn't care about all this science stuff in the past, and that's how I got injured, that's how I stalled, that's how I basically did a lot more in the gym, but I didn't actually see the results. So you don't have to like read up on periodization, intensity, volume, fatigue to stimulus ratio and all this stuff, but I just find it interesting and I want good results, so that's why I do it. But I hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless. I hope it gave you some helpful tips when it comes to building the pecs. Hope you learned something from this video. Definitely would recommend the low incline dumbbell bench press if you haven't tried it before. It's amazing. I'm definitely going to be going back to barbell bench press in a few more months when I'm going to focus slightly more on strength, but not for now. Just want to hit my goal first, so I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to be back on the barbell bench press and probably be weak as fuck on it since I haven't done it in like 6 months right now. But this has been the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, I would greatly appreciate if you could like the video. But if you didn't like the video, dislike it and tell me what I can improve on in the comment section below. My name is Magnus Bulkan. I'll see you next one. Peace. And one last thing, you know what's happening next week? Next Saturday, the next time I'm posting a YouTube video, it's Halloween. So not gonna say what I'm going to do, but let's just say I'm probably going to get kicked out of the gym. Isn't that right?